This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
And here we go. It's another late night edition of a live Locked On Tigers postcast and another victorious postcast for the Detroit Tigers. How about it? First series win of the season. 4-1 victory in Seattle tonight. And what an effort from Casey Mize. We will discuss that and more early offense. That's on the agenda to get to as well. Riley Greene goes yard. Spencer Torkelson continues to rake, and we'll break it all down. We'll have our player of the game. We'll have our turning point of the game and what we're all talking about. That's next on a live Locked On Tigers postcast. But first, thanks as always for making this your postgame destination. My name is Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. And what is the Locked On Tigers postcast? Well, it's real simple. Reaction shows after most every Tigers game, as many as we can, and simply discussing everything that we saw in the immediate reaction in a post-game setting. Free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on YouTube as well. And it's all part of the Locked On Tigers, or it's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the Locked On Tigers postcast. So let's get right into it, and more of the same that we've loved seeing, and which, by the way, is a reminder to invite you to subscribe to Locked On Tigers if you haven't already, and go ahead and get in the comment section as well. We'll get to as many as we can. But my goodness, great to see more early offense setting the tone and really providing in back-to-back nights your starting pitcher with a lead to go out and do his thing with the comfort of a lead after some early offense. So in that first inning, Riley Greene gets it going with the double, and just like that, they put the pressure on Logan Gilbert, who, make no mistake about it, is an upper echelon premier arm in the American League. And this entire Mariner pitching staff is the strength of this team, and one of the better, if not top pitching staffs in all of baseball. So to see the Tigers get out and build these early leads early on is really neat to see. So love to see that. A 2-spot, another crooked number for the Tigers in that opening frame, with Riley Greene starting it off with the double. Great stuff there. And then he eventually scores on the Kerry Carpenter single. And then Colt Keith, give him some credit as well for singling home Kerry Carpenter, in addition to get that crooked number on the board in that home half of the first inning. So great stuff there. And just more from Casey Mize as far as the high expectations for him this season, and maybe not even high expectations, but the type of expectations, in my mind at least, where it's now or never, right? 2025 has to be the season where Casey Mize establishes himself as a big league pitcher. He doesn't have any regression. He shows that he is worthy of that first round pick that the Tigers, and that investment that the Tigers made in him. And tonight was a huge step in that direction, which you absolutely love to see. So Casey Mize, 5 2/3, couldn't quite get out of the 6th inning, but you love what you saw from him. 5 2/3 of scoreless shutout baseball, 1 hit, did not give up a run, struck out 6, and only walked 3. Now, what was some of the knocks on Casey Mize last year? He wasn't fooling guys, very limited in terms of swing and misses. And tonight, I thought he looked so much better in all of those categories. So first pitch strikes 11 of 20, which was great to see. And then as far as swing and misses, which is something, again, he had struggled with, Casey Mize gets 15 swing and misses tonight. So he had his stuff working. He was attacking the zone. He was in control on the mound, and he wasn't playing catch up. So many times you see, not just Casey Mize, but just pitchers in general, when they don't have that good command and they don't have that assertive, aggressive attack to the strike zone, then they're always pitching from behind in counts and that sort of thing. And that was not the case tonight. He was the guy in control. He was the man with the plan on the mound, and the 5 2/3 scoreless innings are a testament to that. No doubt about it. I want to get to your comments as well, because, hey, this is a collaborative environment. You stayed up late, and fortunately tomorrow a day game. So we won't have quite as late of a post-game show. And then the friendly home cooking of Comerica Park opening day. We'll talk about all that at the end of the program. But man, I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait to see the Old English D on full display at Comerica Park. And don't let me get started on the Comerica signage though on the left field wall and everything else, and no more keyhole. I know the players didn't want it, that sort of thing. But again, we'll talk about that at the end. Let's get into some of those comments as the Tigers beat the Seattle Mariners 4-1, first series win of the season. Kevin just leads us off and he says, I'm loving our at-bats. It's nice to see us start out hitting and not ice cold like the last 5 years. Yeah, this team really, and I thought it was touched on in the post game here that the teams don't necessarily, or the team hadn't had that big hit with runners in scoring position in the series against the Dodgers in LA. And that was the difference. I mean, and not to oversimplify everything from an entire series and 3 games worth of losing 3 games to a really good Dodgers team, but a couple of clutch hits here, clutch hits there, and it's a totally different story. And I think tonight and last night, both games, you're seeing when the Tigers have, and it's pointing out the obvious, but when the Tigers have a better approach and more timely hitting, good things will happen to this group of guys. So I know there was a little bit of concern. You never want to start the season getting swept, and remember, it's 162 games. I'll relax. You'll relax. We'll all relax. But great to see 2 consecutive wins in the win column for the Tigers. But with runners in scoring position tonight, 3 for 9. As far as the opportunities go there, great to see that improvement. And I think the response too, the Riley Greene home run after the Mariners had tacked on a run or scored their only run of the game in that home half of the 7th, the Tigers wasted no time to get another run of insurance with the Riley Greene home run. And breaking that down, I thought a Rosarino was going to rob it. And I think Petrie made a good point that he's the same cat that had that robbery that made that robbery catch in the World Baseball Classic, and then kind of pretended that he didn't actually catch it and fooled everybody. So you can never be too sure with stuff like that. But hey, great to see Riley Greene homer in consecutive games. Couple more comments on the program tonight. YouTube user, great win, go Tigers. A great performance by Mize, says Gareth Ridings. Braylon Daniels said Cleveland just lost too. I love it. We're already scoreboard watching. It is April 1st, though, which, by the way, just my 2 cents here. The April Fool's thing. I'm not doing any April Fool's thing. I mean, I guess it's not lame. I like to think I have a pretty good sense of humor, but I fell for too many of them throughout the course of today. And you know what? It's past midnight anyway, so we're on to April 2nd. None of these April Fool's stuff. I'm not falling for anything. All right. Demetrius McNeil, he's a regular, says last year the Tigers hold the Mariners to 1 hit. This year, Casey Mize held the Mariners to 1 hit. Skubal on the mound in game 3. There you go. Yeah, you got to love that. As always on the program, we'll wrap up talking about the upcoming matchup, and to see Tarek Skubal on the bump in a game in which you could earn a series sweep, that's a good feeling, no doubt about it. All right, DP makes a good point here, and it's exactly where I was going next. And this torque turnaround has got me torqued. He says, we get this play from him and Greene all year. Watch out. I agree. The Spencer Torkelson, albeit small sample size, I'm going to say that until at least a month or 2 goes by. But what he's doing, and I'm going to have more on this in the second segment of the program, but what he's doing has just been so welcomed. And listen, if you watched every single show of the Tigers postcast last year, which I certainly would not expect you to, with Spencer Torkelson, I was critical of him. I was hard on him. I didn't necessarily believe in him. But for him to prove me and so many others wrong in the early portion of the season has been so awesome to see. He has another RBI tonight, goes the other way in a big spot. And with clearly the runs being at a premium, that was a huge, huge moment to get that run home for the Detroit Tigers in that 3rd inning. So great to see from Spencer Torkelson. All right, we are about halfway through the program, and it just cruises by. There's new format, I got to tell you. 20 minutes goes by fast, but hey, it's an instant reaction, and that's what we're all about for. Don't go anywhere, because we are going to talk more Spencer Torkelson. We are going to have our game turning point, but right now it's time for what we'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
It's this Detroit Tigers team that found a way to take the first two games of the series in Casey Mize. Casey Mize, 5 2/3 scoreless innings is what you're going to take away from this game, because it is such a welcome sight to see him put that big step forward in his first start, and that positive step forward, because this is a guy that has been given a lot of opportunities and given a lot of chances. And I know the injuries, and that for one reason or another, it just hasn't materialized. So if 2025 can be the year of Casey Mize, and he doesn't have to be Superman, he just has to be a productive regular starter in the rotation, even if he is the fifth starter in the rotation, whatever it may be, but chew up innings, give his team a chance to win, put forth quality starts. He didn't quite get the sixth inning for the quality start, but hey, 5 2/3 of scoreless baseball, allowing just the one hit, and you give the team the opportunity to win. They come through, and the bullpen does the rest, and Casey Mize earns his first win of the season. That's what we'll be talking about. Coming up, we'll have our turning point, we'll have our player of the game, and we'll look ahead at the finale day game tomorrow, although obviously being on the West Coast, it's like a late afternoon matinee for all of us in Detroit. Don't go anywhere. Locked On Tigers postcast continues in just a moment. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. America's #1 sportsbook is FanDuel. And that's right, because new customers, listen up and listen good. March Madness and into April, yeah, it's all here. FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet hits. That's right, $200 in extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderellas. Oh, you might want to update the copy because we got all #1 seeds in the Final Four. That's just to make sure you're still listening. So don't bet on Cinderellas, because there are no Cinderellas. But hey, who's ever cutting down the net this coming weekend, you want to be a part of it with FanDuel. I guess technically Monday night, but you get my drift. So stay in the action with tournament games happening all the time. It's easy and fast. FanDuel app is simple to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. There's no waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoop actions all tournament long. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. This episode also brought to you by Supply House. Supply House is where you get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades. It's Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website, well, guess what? It's packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need. And the best part, delivered fast from coast to coast. So if you need help with an order, don't worry. Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service. You'll always talk to a real person. None of that robot crap. But you know what? I added that. But yeah, none of that robot stuff. You'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you use promo code SH5. That's promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. Promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. Supplyhouse.com. All right, we tie a knot on this one. Another victorious Locked On Tigers postcast after the 4-1 win in Seattle. First series win for the Detroit Tigers. Casey Mize gets the win. And for the Seattle Mariners, Logan Gilbert gets the loss. He lasts just 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs. He did strike out 10, give him credit there. But how about for the first time in his Detroit Tigers uniform, Tommy Kahnle getting the save? And even though he plunked Julio Rodriguez to begin the 9th, he settled in nicely and earned his first save of the season. And just the one batter that he hit, Julio Rodriguez, was the only batter that reached. All right, time now for our turning point segment.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Couple of plays you could look at in this one, but I want to go with the Spencer Torkelson angle because it's a 2-0 game, and just the difference between a 2-0 lead and a 3-0 lead in a hotly contested game like that is massive. So for him to go the other way and find some green grass in right field, bring home the run, that was a huge turning point. And I'd also add that you could just feel the excitement and momentum because make no mistake about it, when you're a tight-knit group like the Tigers are, and you see one of your guys kind of breaking through and having those moments, I think it goes a long way in galvanizing the rest of that dugout. And I think that was the case here tonight. So Spencer Torkelson, big hit, getting that RBI. And if you know what, just to make sure I don't leave it out and not stress the importance of it, the 2 runs early. And I know I mentioned that in the opening, but want to reiterate that the 2 runs scored to give Casey Mize that 2-run cushion to take the mound for the first time in 2025 was also huge. Let's go into our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Got to go Casey Mize, 5 2/3. I mean, shutout baseball. He only allowed the 1 hit. He was in control. And with time being of the essence, we won't go into all the details because we already have. But great to see Casey Mize. And let's see if he can start to compile quality start after quality start after quality start and be that 5th steady member of the rotation. All right, a couple more comments I want to get to before we look at the finale tomorrow. Well, technically today, but you know what I'm saying. At later this afternoon at 2:00. No, I beg your pardon, at 4:00 in the East Coast. Time zones are tough for me. Bear with me. All right, couple more comments. We got Marty Hodges checking in. Bless you, boys. Greetings from Germany. There you go. Love to see it. We've got Mike Doyle reminding us the Tigers are tied for first now with Cleveland losing. Indeed. You got to love that. Grant Erb saying Petrie and Benetti got to be a top 5 duo in the majors already. Great chemistry. Yeah, they have been a lot of fun to listen to. Just incredible stuff from those guys and really make the viewing and listening experience an absolute pleasure. All right. Upcoming series finale, Tigers against the Seattle Mariners. Day game tomorrow. Casey Mize and Luis Castillo for the Mariners. What a pitching matchup. Looking forward to that. And I said Casey Mize because I've been saying him all night. My apologies. It's obviously Tarek Skubal. Tomorrow's Skubal Day. Don't roast me on the comments too much. It was just a slip up there. So Casey Mize goes tonight and pitches a whale of the game tomorrow. It's Tarek Skubal, who you're not used to seeing the numbers, and I know it's only 1 start, but 0-1, 7.20 ERA versus Luis Castillo, who's also 0-1 with 3.60 ERA and 4 strikeouts. But look, you can still hear me, and the internet playing tricks on us, which we love. It's a technology-driven industry. Come on, internet. We'll work on that for next time. We got to be better. But hey, appreciate everybody tuning in. The Detroit Tigers get the victory over the Seattle Mariners. Tomorrow they go for the sweep. Tarek Skubal on the bump, the reigning Cy Young winner. Who else would you rather have on the bump taking the ball with a chance for your first series sweep of the season and to get back to 500 and then come on home for a little home opener at Comerica Park on Friday. So the Tigers will have the off day on Thursday. And if the internet went out and you missed that, we've got a doubleheader tomorrow on Locked On Tigers and Locked On Pistons with post-game shows after both games. You can catch the Locked On Tigers post-game show here on Locked On Tigers and the Pistons post-game show on Locked On Sports Detroit. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Shout out to Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley. Make sure you check out the latest episode there for the deep dive on everything. I've enjoyed the post-game reaction show with you, and we'll talk to you and see you tomorrow on Live Locked On Tigers postcast. Tigers beat the Seattle Mariners 4-1 and go for the sweep tomorrow. Tarek Skubal on the mound. Talk to you afterwards.